Hello, I am back with a new video and it is the end of August, which is literally insane. Like, time went by so quickly, and this video is kind of a good video, but at the same time it's a little bit of a depressing video because this month went by so quickly for me that like half of the things that I wanted to do didn't come into fruition. And it's very much reflected in my Hobonichi. Now this is my Hobonichi cousin in the A5. This is also an Avec, so as you can see it's on the thinner side. I use this as my work and my productivity planner, but we're gonna get right into it. So the first spread, of course, is my overview. If you've seen my YouTube videos before, you'll be a little familiar with this, even though I don't show it that often. But nonetheless, it's basically my check-off calendar. What I'll do is every day I'll check off the day, and I actually did this literally yesterday. I went through and I checked off all the calendar dates, and that just shows you how like not on top of things I have been. I have more loose notes. This is also something I have to figure out what to do with. And into the next. This actually, I have to think about what I'm gonna do with this. What I was originally gonna do was I was gonna score my days 1 through 10, and that just completely slipped my mind. It just like out of like nowhere, I kind of like just completely forgot about it. This is like basically blank. As you can see, the other page though is that what's really nice about Hobonichi is that they give you like 12 months of indexes. So even though this is a Avec, which only houses 6 months of the year, they give you 12 months of index, which I absolutely love about the Hobonichi Avec. Now, what I did was screen time. This is the time that I spent on my phone. My average screen time is around 2 hours on my phone, and I think it's because I use it at the gym. But as for my iPad, I still have to fill it out because I don't know what's going on. It only gives me 1 week at a time, and I do this all at once. So we'll see about that. But this, for right now, screen time is looking fantastic. I really love this. It's simple, it's easy. I don't have to work too hard. It's great. Going into my monthlies, well, this is another scrap that actually has to go. This actually has to go in the front. In these, my goodness, this is a mess. I need to empty this out. I guess that's my next step. I gotta empty this stuff out. Ooh. Okay, so next into the monthlies. My monthlies, I think, are very basic. This is like, I do want to put something here. What did I put last time, or the month before? Yeah, hours wasted. I think I do need to put something here for the next month. But what I did was I did try putting up reoccurring items. Like, for instance, on Tuesdays is like social media update. I did write these things down, but as you will see when I continue through the pages, my dailies literally absorbed all of my energy, and I feel like it's becoming a bad habit, but that's basically what's happened. So even though I wrote these things down, I didn't really like come back and like update and try to think things through. As you can see, go ahead. I think I'm filming this on a Saturday, and what I do is I cross out the dates as well, and I'm literally a week behind. So that's something I have to figure out. But as you can see, going forward, my dailies absorbed all of my energy, so that's why my monthlies are looking a little dry, for lack of a better term. And once we pop into the weeklies, non-existent. I stopped using the weeklies altogether, but it's basically empty pages. So I don't know if I'm gonna like reuse them for something, but they're so empty for me, and so like I really want to go back to using this, but like I'm just so exhausted in the daily pages. Like, it feels like I plan for the day and then I start working immediately. And so, coming back and like using these pages for like the log that I usually do has become a little exhausting. But I will show you, like when I go into the daily pages, you will understand exactly what I mean. So let me go to August. So this is the last day of September and this is August. What I did was I tipped in a few pages. I tipped in 1 line a day and I tipped in like basically a monthly, I wouldn't say habit tracker, but things that like to track. And the reason why I did this is because in my September, I did something like this, which I had like a box and I had the monthly and I did it and I was very successful with this. I tracked all the way throughout the month. So I decided to do this, but I wasn't successful. I think one thing, I tracked too many things and some of these things are a little vague. So one thing I tracked was 1% better. Like I am trying to up my skill 1% each day. That didn't work at all. I'm like, what is 1%? Like, how is that manageable? How is that trackable? How is that like measurable? And because of that, I kind of fell off later in the month. As you can see, literally the 14th, the 15th is when I fell off. And so this ended up not being as successful as I wanted it to. And you know, it is what it is. I tried it, it didn't work. 1 line a page is also something that like I just didn't remember doing. Like I just don't remember these like new things. And so that was also unsuccessful. On the other side, I have like a weekly schedule. Also something I just didn't even pay attention to. I think that because it's like, maybe because it's in the beginning of the month or something like that, I'm not sure. I just completely forgot about my weekly schedule and I just did my work as much as I could throughout every single day. What I did on the monthly overview, it's kind of a mess actually. If I could just maybe spend some time erasing these pencil marks. This I haven't filled up yet, but I do have the same concept that I do for my September. I think it's just, there it is a monthly reflection and then days I missed. I haven't, I think today is the last day I'll be sitting down and I'll look through my pages and see how many days I missed. But I haven't filled this out yet, but this is usually how it looks like on the monthly first page. And this is where we start my dailies. My dailies have become quite intense. So I have a schedule here, work tasks, log, other tasks, and like goal crushers. And then this is daily timeline. And this is, as you can see, like I write a lot in the daily pages. It is basically the most effective for me, just staying in the daily pages, because I just like sit down, I focus, and I start working. I just think that as the dailies went on, I was like, this is too much. Like, this is a lot of stuff that I'm writing. Is all of this stuff actually working for me? I think the timeline's very effective. So green is like work, did a good job. Red is like when I kind of was falling off. Like for instance, as you can see, 12 to 1 on this page. I was probably like watching social media or I was doing something that wasn't productive. And you know, another reoccurring theme is that after, like majority of the time, like after midday, I also fell off, because midday is usually when I stop working and then I go and do other things. But overall, this was quite successful. And then mid-month, again, mid-month, I am struggling. It's just, what I did was I revamped my schedule to take out a lot of the things that I was writing, because like one thing I was writing was like that I felt like was just redundant, was like freshen up. I usually always freshen up. Like this, like it is a habit of mine. I don't need to like write down something that I already do. But I think not writing it down and not crossing it off felt like I lost a win. And I feel like that sort of made me less productive, because as you can see, how I track how productive my day was if I highlighted. So the more I highlight, the more I know I got things done. So that kind of put me like in a bad mood at the end of the day. And as you can see, once I got like later in the month, it was really upsetting. What I did change that I felt like I needed to do was I started moving the timeline from the edge of the page to the middle of the page. And I did this because I thought that it would be a really good idea to plan work tasks at different times. Some of this was successful, some of this wasn't. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to putting the timeline on the side like I used to, because it wasn't working as well as I thought it would work. And that's okay, you know, I learned it, I tried it, I learned it, didn't work as much as I wanted it to work. But as you can see, you know, work tasks completely fell off here. This completely fell off. And this is where I try to bring it back in regards to making my work tasks like follow the timeline in the middle. But if you can tell, this is like the most ideal page for me. What I usually also put on the top are as many wins as possible and score. What I used to do in the past is I used to put, here it is, we're getting there. Here it is. I used to put steps, daily update. Daily update is like, you know, me going through my checklist. I'd put like a score 1 through 10, how good that day was, and I would write down journal, which reminds me to journal. Again, for some reason, a lot of these things fell off. And for me, like, those are maintenance tasks. Those are tasks that makes like my life feel more cohesive when things are a little bit up in the air. But nonetheless, this is sort of where I'm at the current moment. I really like the timeline in the middle of the page. Very similar, like the is it Jubino? Jibun. Jibun. The Jibun Techo. I believe their daily is set up like this. And I saw, like, it was one of the planners that I was considering. So I was like, oh, how about I try it in the Hobonichi? It kind of works and it kind of doesn't. So I don't know if I should go back to the timeline on the side or whatnot, but this really works for me. The schedule really works for me. Work tasks really work for me. Other tasks that I usually put towards the bottom really works for me. Log is a necessary. So I think that, you know, I'm gonna try to keep on evolving the system a little more till I get to where I need. And if you can see, this is kind of like a messy page. It's like, as you can tell, I haven't been as productive as I wanted this month. And you can tell by sort of the emptiness. When it's empty like this, you can like, well, there's some pages that are not towards the beginning of the month. But like when it's empty like this and empty like this, and you know, then I have like no pages, and you see how this is empty. That's when I know it just was not a good day. See, this was a very good day. This is this is like a page where I know I'm having a good day when it comes to sort of my work and my progress and whatnot. At the same time, it's really enlightening, but at the same time, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, these are a lot of like empty pages. This is actually like probably one of the best examples. So I have my work tasks, my schedule, the log is completely filled out. And then for the overview months, if you see here, I have checks and X's. Checks are days that I did a good job. Like, I'm like, yeah, got all my things done, everything's good. And X's like days that wasn't as effective as I wanted to. And I actually keep this up, if you can see on the bottom, because I really love these little calendars. I really love these little calendars, but I completely I didn't know what to do with them. And then so like, as you can see, once these little calendars are filled out, at the end of the month, I will go and I'll fill out this one. those X and checks will go into this, and I can see just how many days I was successful and how many days I wasn't. And as you can see, at the beginning of my my July, that's what I did here. So this was like, I saw like I had a 50% win rate with my tasks. And so I want to do the same thing here. And I think that like, that is like really effective. But nonetheless, I wanted to film this video because just as they're helpful for some people online, they're also helpful for me to see just like what's going on. Like, you know, where am I sort of quote unquote messing up and where I can improve on. And right now, I think I just have to get back to it. I have to try again. I think there was a quote. What is that quote? You know, success is falling 100 times and then getting up the 101st time. So that's what I'm thinking about when I'm in this planner. I do realize that this A5 size is huge. A5 size is quote unquote like a desk planner. I do feel like if you're interested in getting a Hobonichi cousin or Avec and it's in the A5 size, it's kind of like a planner that lives on your desk. And why I say this is because I actually wanted to take this to work at like a work share place. And this was so annoying to take with me. I was like, this is kind of like cumbersome, especially when you have like limited desk space in these places and you're kind of have this like, this full spread, like spread out like this. But if it's on your desk and it's living on your desk, it does feel like, it does feel very manageable. It feels very, quite cozy on the desk. It's like, it's a good desk planner in my opinion. But nonetheless, I think that, you know, I'm filming this on the 30th. And as you can see, this was also not the best day of my life here as well. But I'm going to, I'm going to, you know, do the few little bits and bops that I have to get done today. But nonetheless, thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.